One, start.
Emma Mixon, Persuasive Speech, and here is my audience. Hi everyone, I'm Emma Mixon, and today my speech is going to be about persuading you to believe that child beauty pageants are bad. Child beauty pageants are an old tradition, but also one of the most controversial competitions around the world. Many claim that they should be banned. Karen Cataline, a mental health professional near Denver who participated in child pageants in the 1960s, says she understands the motivation to ban these competitions, but doesn't think that that's the only answer. The problem is not just the pageants, it's also the parents who support and encourage the sexualization of their children, says Cataline, author of the memoir Fat Lash. The purpose of this speech is to show you that these beauty pageants have gone too far and should not be allowed for children any longer. A task force of the American Psychological Association noted that girls who are sexualized early will tend to gather their self-worth as an adult based on their appearance, says Cartwright. Also, there's also the issue of certain adults who make the assumption that girls have the ability to make adult decisions just based on the way that they look rather than their actual age. While I was not a pageant child, I had many friends who were, and I, like many of us, grew up watching shows like Toddlers and Tiaras, thinking that this was normal. Now, with the hypersexualization of these pageants, it is overtly evident to me that this must come to an end. Today, I'm going to discuss the problem with these pageants, what I believe could be a good solution, and I'm going to tell you how ending these pageants today will have a positive effect on children growing up in America. Without further ado, let's get into the main problem that we're seeing here. Netivist.org says that it is the routines and extreme makeovers that are the controversy over children's beauty pageants that mostly the controversy stems from. Focusing on a perfect image, these pageants have been criticized for psychologically damaging children participants and potentially leading to eating disorders and body image issues. These children cannot make decisions for themselves. They need responsible and sensible adults to stand up for them and say that enough is enough. They are also said to sexualize children and teach young girls that their worth is dependent on their physical appearance. This stress can be even more accentuated by the pressure of parents who enter their children into these pageants, often to fulfill their own ambitions. These contests could have potential negative impact on children's development, says Netivist.org. They go on to say that to some critics, parents subjecting their children to such an experience could even count as child abuse. The lack of legal framework and consistent rules across pageants make the position of these children much more vulnerable. Now that we can truly grasp how this is hurting these children, I want to get into what I believe could be a good solution. Ina Kastakis reports that beauty contests are meant for adult women who are mature enough to understand the situation and competition and fully handle the rejection of losing. The fierce competition of pageants is meant for women whose values will not be challenged by the materialistic focuses of pageantry. Children should not be permitted into beauty pageants because of their demoralizing, harmful effects on self-confidence and budding character. We believe that beauty pageants should be left only for mature and adult women who understand the competition that they're entering. Children who are interested in the pageant world should be allowed to watch and enjoy these pageants on the sidelines, knowing that one day they will be able to partake. I believe this plan would work well because by the time these children are able to partake in pageants, they will be able to confidently say that they are the ones who chose to partake and they are not subject to intense competition, hypersexualization, and the wants of their parents. Unfortunately, many people believe that this argument is false. They believe that parents have the discretion to make these decisions for their children and that these pageants cause no harm for children, even believing that participating in pageants as a child could lead to increased confidence in children who are made to perform. Netivist.org does a good job of highlighting this opposing argument, saying that, on the other hand, parents and ex-participants defend pageants as positive experiences that are playful, fun, and can even help build a child's character. Participation in a pageant is said to help children gain confidence when performing in front of a crowd. Parents also said that their girls or boys learn to be competitive and socially skillful, attributes that will be valuable for their future. Children can also get a sense of accomplishment and pride by gaining praise and awards for these contests. With this being said, however, I want to show you what I believe would be a positive result from implementing my solution to this problem. Ina Kassikis says that in Europe, the French Senate recently approved a ban on pageants for girls under the age of 16 to lessen the influence of youngsters from the materialistic focuses of pageantry. I believe that banning pageants until age 16 would truly lessen these negative effects on children. At the same time, if this plan is adopted, many pageant parents will be very devastated. Not only will this affect parents and children who already love the pageant world, it will also affect many jobs. Coaches who work with children will have a decrease in clients, pageants will decrease in views, judges will not have as many work opportunities. However, despite these truths, I truly believe that it is important to think first of the children that we're raising in this country. They are young and impressionable, and this issue goes further than the negative consequences. I hope that I have shown you today how important it is to bring pageantry for children to an end. Today I wanted to show you that children are being exploited and hypersexualized in the pageantry world. I want you to understand what is happening behind the makeup, dances, and smiles. I want you to see the threat and danger that this is having on the young and naive children of America. I ask that we as adults step up to the plate and bring this exploitation to an end. Stop watching shows like Toddlers and Tiaras. Stop giving in to this materialistic world and start acting on your beliefs. If we want to raise strong and confident children to become mature and stable adults, it is up to us to put this to an end. I want to leave you with one last reminder. We all know the story of JonBenét Ramsey. Ina Kassikis reports this in her article about JonBenét Patricia Ramsey, the child pageant beauty queen who was murdered at age 6 in 1996. Her parents were threatened in a ransom letter asking for $118,000 for the kidnappers or else suffer the death of their only daughter. Ramsey's body was found in the basement of her home on Christmas morning, and this case remains unsolved. While this is an extreme case and not common, we are not sure if it had a connection to the pageant world, and we cannot be so naive as to think it could not have. This child is a perfect example of the exploitation that can occur and potentially cause horrific harm to these children. It is up to us, the adults of the world, to make decisions that will not lead our children down this route. Thank you, and here is my audience.